She stood in the storm, holding 2 suitcases, banished by her own children from the very house her hands had helped build. They thought they knew her. But when Maria Madalena's true identity and the magnitude of her sacrifices came to light, the shock was devastating. Maria Madalena could never have predicted that morning would be her farewell to that home, the house she and her husband had erected, brick by brick, with the sweat and savings of a lifetime of labor. On that leaden skied morning, she was in the kitchen, preparing coffee, a ritual of decades, when she heard her 3 children enter. Their joint arrival was a rare event. Marina, Michelle, and Juliana, living in different cities, seldom gathered. Maria Madalena's heart raced. Could it be a pleasant surprise? A family lunch like the old days? But one look at their faces revealed a chilling truth, a coldness that cut deeper than the biting wind outside. Marina was the first to speak. Always the most ruthless of the 3, she had her father's firmness, but none of his kindness. She entered the kitchen, staring at Maria Madalena with the determination of someone about to eliminate an obstacle, and said bluntly, "Mother, we need to have a serious talk." Maria Madalena turned off the stove, wiped her hands on her apron, and turned to them. "Of course, my dears. Sit down. I'll make some fresh coffee for you." But Marina waved it off. "That won't be necessary. This will be quick." Her tone was frigid, businesslike, as if she were closing an unfavorable deal. Maria Madalena felt a knot in her chest but forced a smile. "What is it, my child? Did something happen?" Michel stepped forward, hands in the pockets of his designer pants, and looked at his mother as if she were a delinquent tenant. "Mother, we've talked and made a decision. The house belongs to us now. You will have to leave." The words fell like an avalanche on Maria Madalena. She blinked, trying to absorb the impact. "Leave? To where, my son? This house is mine. Your father and I built it." Marina rolled her eyes with a contempt only filial ingratitude can muster. "Mother, legally, the house passed to our names after Dad's death. We only allowed you to stay because you had nowhere to go. But things have changed. We need to sell this property." Maria Madalena's legs weakened. "Sell? But why? You have your own homes, your jobs. Why sell your mother's house?" Michelle let out a short laugh, one that hurt more than a slap. "Mother, do you really think we're going to let an asset like this sit idle just because you want to keep living here? This property is worth a fortune. We can split the money and each invest in our future." Maria Madalena sought the gaze of Juliana, the youngest, always the most sensitive, hoping for a defense. But Juliana just stared at the floor, biting her lip, too cowardly to intercede for her own mother. Marina resumed, with the tone of someone losing patience. "Mother, we don't have time for melodrama. You have until the end of the day to gather your things and leave. We've already contacted a realtor. He's coming tomorrow to appraise the property." Tears burned in Maria Madalena's eyes, but she wouldn't give them the satisfaction of seeing her cry. "Children, you can't do this. I worked my whole life for this house. I spent years sewing late into the night, saving every coin, giving up everything to give you the best." Michel crossed his arms, impatient. "That's exactly why you need to understand, Mother. You've already lived. You've had your chance. Now it's our turn to enjoy what you and Dad built." Maria Madalena felt a pain that wasn't physical, but was palpable. The pain of seeing the children she raised turn into strangers. "Children, I have nowhere to go. What do you want me to do?" Marina shrugged. "That's not our problem anymore, Mother. You're an adult. You'll have to manage. There are shelters, friends, neighbors. We can't carry you on our backs forever." The words were like daggers. Maria Madalena looked at each of her 3 children, searching for a trace of humanity, a hint of the love she was sure she had planted, but found only coldness, haste, and greed. At that moment, the sky outside darkened. Dense clouds formed, as if the universe itself were reacting to the injustice. Maria Madalena took a deep breath, straightened her posture, and said with a calmness she didn't know she possessed, "Fine, I'll leave. But one day, you will understand the magnitude of the mistake you are making." Marina rolled her eyes. "Always the drama, Mother. always playing the victim. We're just being practical. Michel glanced at his luxury watch. Mother, we have appointments. You have until 6 p.m. Please don't leave a mess. Maria Madalena climbed the stairs slowly, each step a ton weight. She entered the room she had shared with her husband for so many years, looked at the bed where he had fallen asleep forever, and felt the urge to sit there and never get up. But she was not one to give up. She took 2 old suitcases from under the bed and began to pack her clothes. She didn't have much, a lifetime of work and sacrifice, and it all fit into 2 suitcases. As she packed, her eyes fell on an old wooden box in the back of the closet, a box that hadn't been opened in decades. Inside, documents, old photos, memories of a time she had buried, a time her children never knew existed. Maria Madalena took the box, wiped the dust from the lid, and placed it carefully in one of the suitcases. Maybe it was time to reopen that box. Maybe the past she had fled her whole life was the only thing that could save her now. When she came down with the 2 heavy suitcases, her 3 children were on the porch, watching her with the annoying haste of someone wanting to get rid of a problem. Outside, the rain began to fall. Not a light rain, but a storm that soaked you in seconds. Maria Madalena looked at her children, hoping at least one would offer a ride, help, anything. But Marina just opened the porch door. Michel adjusted his expensive suit jacket, and Juliana continued to look down, lacking the courage to face her mother. Maria Madalena took the 2 suitcases, one in each hand, and left. The heavy rain hit her face, soaking her simple clothes, turning the dirt path into mud. She looked back one last time and saw her 3 children standing on the dry porch, protected from the storm, watching her leave as if she were an unwanted stranger. None of them moved. None of them shouted for her to come back. None showed a shred of remorse. Maria Madalena turned her back and began to walk down the dirt road under the torrential rain, carrying 2 suitcases that weighed less than the pain in her heart. But inside one of them was the old box. And inside the box, a secret her children could never imagine. A secret that would change everything. In a few days, Marina, Michel, and Juliana would discover who the woman they had just cast out into the rain really was. And when they found out, the shock would be so profound they would never forgive themselves. Maria Madalena didn't know how long she had been walking. The rain had saturated every fiber of her clothing. The suitcases were so heavy her arms felt like they were about to be torn off, and the dirt road had turned into a muddy paste that clung to her worn shoes. Each step was a battle, not against the storm, but against the urge to simply give up. She looked around, trying to get her bearings, but the rain was so heavy she could barely see a meter ahead. Her body cried out for rest, but her mind replayed her children's words. "You've already lived, you've had your chance. Now it's our turn." Her legs began to give way. Maria Madalena tried to take another step, but her foot slipped in the mud. She fell to her knees, the suitcases toppling beside her. The rainwater, mixed with mud, dirtied her face, her hands. She tried to get up, but her body wouldn't respond. It was as if all her strength had been drained at once. It wasn't just physical exhaustion. It was the crushing weight of all that had happened. Right there, sitting in the mud under the downpour for the first time since leaving home, she allowed the tears to fall. She wept for the ingratitude, the coldness, the injustice. Her vision began to blur. Her head spun, her body swayed. She felt she was about to faint. She tried to grab a rock, but had no strength. She fell sideways into the mud, and the last thing she saw before darkness took over was the gray sky, pouring water as if the whole world were weeping with her. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer on the road. She was in a simple bed, covered with clean sheets that smelled of homemade soap. Her head ached, but she was dry and warm. The room was small, with wooden walls and a window with floral curtains. A gentle voice stopped her as she tried to get up. "Easy, ma'am, you're still weak." A woman of about 50 with a genuine smile approached with a steaming mug. "I brought you some warm tea. It'll do you good." Maria Madalena accepted, her hands trembling. "Where am I?" The woman, who introduced herself as Lucia, sat on the edge of the bed. "In my house. My husband Antonio, found you passed out on the road." Tears of gratitude filled Maria Madalena's eyes. Strangers had done for her what her own children had not. "I don't know how to thank you." Lucia smiled. "No need. What happened to you?" Maria Madalena hesitated. "I had some family problems." Lucia didn't press. "You can stay here as long as you need." Maria Madalena looked at the humble home and felt more welcome than she had in her own house in recent years. In the following days, Maria Madalena recovered, helping Lucia with chores. It was a simple but comforting life. The couple, who had no children, treated her like family. It hurt and healed at the same time. One evening, alone in the small living room, she took the suitcase with the old box. She sat down and, with trembling hands, opened the lid. Inside, yellowed photographs, old documents. The first photo made her sigh. It was her, young and beautiful, in expensive clothes in front of a mansion. Beside her, her parents, who chose money over their daughter. She ran her fingers over the photo, remembering the day everything fell apart. She picked up another photo, her and a simple man, smiling with genuine love. The father of her children, the man for whom she had given up a fortune. Was it worth it? She asked herself. Absorbed in memories, she didn't notice Lucia at the door. The woman had woken up for a drink of water and saw the light on. Something in those photos caught her attention. They weren't photos of ordinary people. They were photos of rich people, very rich people. "Mrs. Maria, is that you in the photo?" Lucia asked, approaching. Maria Madalena tried to hide the photos. "It's just the past, Lucia. Things that don't matter anymore." But Lucia saw the pain in her eyes. "The past always matters." Maria Madalena shook her head. "This past only brought me pain." Lucia looked at the photo of the mansion. "You came from a rich family, didn't you?" Maria Madalena closed the box. "I did, but I chose to leave. I chose a simple life with the man I loved." "And your family?" Lucia asked. Maria Madalena wiped her tears. "They gave me an ultimatum, either the money or love. I chose love. They disinherited me." Lucia squeezed her hand. "It must have been very difficult." "It was, but I don't regret it. I raised 3 wonderful children." Her voice broke on the last sentence. Just then, Antonio, Lucia's husband, appeared. Lucia explained, "Antonio, Mrs. Maria has an incredible story. She gave up everything for love." Antonio looked at Maria Madalena with new respect. "I always thought you had an air of importance." Maria Madalena shook her head. "I'm just a mother who was discarded when she was no longer useful." Lucia held her face. "You are important, and your children will realize that." But Maria Madalena smiled sadly. "I think it's too late." That same night, in another city, an elegant lawyer was desperately searching for a woman named Maria Madalena Cavalcante. And when he found her, everything would change. Marina stood on the porch of the house, mentally calculating her share of the sale. 4 days had passed since they had expelled their mother, and she felt no remorse, only relief. Michel, beside her, answered work emails on his phone. Juliana was inside, throwing away their mother's belongings. None of them cared to know if she was alive. That's when a luxury black car appeared on the dirt road, kicking up dust. The realtor was only coming the next day. Who could it be? A man in an impeccable suit and designer glasses got out, consulted a paper, and walked to the porch. "Good afternoon. I'm looking for Mrs. Maria Madalena Cavalcante." Marina was confused. "Cavalcante? My mother is Maria Madalena Silva." The lawyer adjusted his glasses. "Silva may be the name she uses, but her registered name is Cavalcante. Is she here?" Michel approached, suspicious. "Who are you?" The man handed him a card. "Dr. Steven Almeida, an inheritance lawyer. I represent the Cavalcante family." Marina read the card and felt a chill in her stomach. Cavalcante. The name was familiar. My mother never used that surname. The lawyer sighed. She renounced the family name, but legally, she is still a Cavalcante. I need to speak with her about an inheritance." The word inheritance dropped like a bomb. Juliana appeared at the door. "What inheritance?" "Doctor," Almeida explained. "Maria Madalena's parents, Augusto and Vittoria Cavalcante, recently passed away. They left a will looking for the daughter they hadn't seen in over 40 years. The ground seemed to disappear. "Wait," Marina said. "Are you saying my mother is the daughter of rich people?" The lawyer looked at her wearily. "Not just rich. The Cavalcantes are one of the wealthiest families in the country. The estate exceeds 100 million reais." The silence was deafening. 100 million reais. Their mother, the simple woman who sewed to survive, was the heiress to a fortune. It had to be a lie. "That makes no sense," Michel said. "Our mother has always been poor." Dr. Almeida opened his briefcase. Maria Madalena was born into an extremely wealthy family, but in her early 20s, she fell in love with a man the family did not approve of, a worker with no money. Her parents gave her an ultimatum: either end the relationship or leave with nothing. Marina's heart raced, and she chose the guy. The lawyer nodded. She chose love. She left with only the clothes on her back. Her parents expected her to return, but she never did. She built a new life. "The guy she chose," Michel said, "was our father." "Exactly," the lawyer confirmed. "And all these years, her parents never stopped looking for her. But she had changed her surname, her life. It was impossible to locate her." A wave of anger and despair washed over Marina. Her mother was rich, and they had lived in poverty their whole lives. But why an inheritance now? Because before they passed, Dr. Almeida said, they changed their minds. They left everything to her, asking for forgiveness for being so harsh. Juliana asked timidly, "And does she know this?" "Not yet," the lawyer replied. "I haven't been able to locate her. I thought she lived here." Panic seized Marina. They had expelled a 100 million reais heiress. What if she wanted nothing to do with them anymore? "Our mother left a few days ago," Michel lied. "She had to travel." "Travel where?" the lawyer asked. "We don't know. She didn't leave a contact." Dr. Almeida wasn't convinced. He saw the conflict in their eyes. "When she returns, have her call me immediately. It's urgent." He looked at the boxes of their mother's belongings being discarded and understood everything. "I hope that when you find your mother, you treat her with the respect she deserves. A woman who gives up 100 million reais for love is a rare thing." He left, leaving the three of them paralyzed. 100 million, Marina whispered, "and we threw her out on the street. What have we done?" Michel groaned. Juliana started to cry. "I told you it was wrong." "Crying won't help now," Marina shouted. "We need to find her. Fast." They started calling everyone they knew, but no one knew of Maria Madalena. She had vanished. Panic grew. It wasn't just about the money, it was about the woman who had renounced a fortune for them, the woman they had treated like trash. Marina started calling hospitals, police stations. Nothing. Maria Madalena was gone. And as they despaired, in a simple house, she was helping Lucia prepare dinner, unaware that her life was about to change, and unaware that the children who had expelled her were now desperately searching for her, not for love, but for 100 million reasons. Marina didn't sleep. Her head pounded. 100 million reais. How could the woman they expelled be worth more than everything they had ever dreamed of? Michel drank half a bottle of whiskey, guilt mixing with the despair of having lost access to that fortune. Juliana cried with remorse and fear. The next morning, Dr. Almeida returned. "I didn't find her," he said with a serious expression, "but I discovered things you need to know." He opened his briefcase. "Your mother wasn't just rich, she was brilliant. A business administration graduate, she spoke 4 languages. She was being prepared to take over the family business. She had everything. Why would she do that?" Michel asked. The lawyer smiled sadly. "Because she met your father, a simple man who worked on one of the family's farms. They fell in love. Her parents were furious. gave her the ultimatum. She left with nothing. What did she do after? Marina asked. She went to live in a very simple house with your father, the lawyer said. He worked in construction. She started sewing. They lived with the basics, and she never complained, never asked for help. Mother was always too proud, Michelle said. The lawyer continued. When you were born, investigators reported that Maria Madalena worked day and night to support you. Most of the money that sustained this family came from her work. Shame and anger burned inside Marina. Why did she never tell us? Probably out of shame, Dr. Almeida said, or because she wanted you to value what you had, not what she lost. Is there anything else? Michelle asked. The lawyer hesitated. Years ago, investigators located her, but she asked not to be contacted. She said she didn't regret her choice, but she asked them to tell her parents one thing. What? Marina asked. The lawyer read from a document. She sent a message saying she forgave her parents, that she understood they only wanted to protect her, and that she was happy with the life she had built. She said the three of you were the greatest wealth she could have. The room fell into absolute silence. They had called her a burden, and she called them her greatest wealth. Juliana ran to her room, unable to bear it. There's more, Dr. Almeida said. Your grandparents left letters for her, asking for forgiveness, saying that love is worth more than anything. And she never knew? Michelle asked. Never. They passed away before they could send them. Just then, Juliana returned with an old box. I found this in Mother's room. She opened it. Inside, dozens of letters written by their mother. Dr. Almeida took one. My God. They're letters she wrote to her parents for years, but never sent. Marina took one and read aloud, her voice trembling. Dear Father and Mother, today marks 10 years. I don't regret it. My husband is a good man. My children are healthy, but I miss you. I wish you could meet your grandchildren. I'm happy. Poor, but happy. Michelle snatched the letter from her and read the end of another. I want my children to know they were loved, that I chose love, and love is worth more than any fortune. He threw the letter down and ran out, shattered. Juliana picked up the last letter and read the end in a whisper. P.S. If my children find these letters, I want them to know they were my greatest wealth. I hope I was a good mother. I love you forever, Mom. She collapsed on the floor. We told her she had lived too much at our expense, and she wrote this. What have we done? Marina sobbed. You only valued her when you lost her, Dr. Almeida said. Now you need to find her and ask for forgiveness for real. Not for the inheritance, but because it's the right thing to do. They ran out, scouring the entire region, but Maria Madalena seemed to have been swallowed by the earth. The more they searched, the more their desperation grew. They hadn't just expelled a mother. They had expelled an angel who gave up heaven to stay on earth with them. Returning home, they saw Mrs. Conceição, the oldest neighbor, standing at the gate. Have you seen my mother? Marina asked. The neighbor looked at them with sadness and disappointment. I did. The day you sent her away, I saw you on the dry porch while your mother left in a storm. I saw her fall in the mud, and I saw the three of you just stand there, not helping. We need to talk to her, Michelle said, ashamed. Now? The neighbor laughed. Found out she had money, did you? Marina turned pale. How do you know? Your mother told me everything years ago, the neighbor said. She made me promise never to tell you, said you needed to learn the value of things. What else did she tell you? Juliana asked. The neighbor sighed. Things you should have noticed. Do you know how many times I saw your mother go hungry so you could eat? How many times she lied, saying she wasn't hungry, so there would be enough food for you? The neighbor continued mercilessly. Remember when Marina went to college? She sold her wedding jewelry to pay for it. When Michelle needed money for his law office, she sold her wedding ring. And Juliana's wedding party? She took out a loan she was still paying off when you kicked her out. The three siblings collapsed on the ground, crying. And do you know the worst part? The neighbor said. A month ago, Maria Madalena received a letter. It was from her parents, talking about the inheritance. She knew, Marina whispered. She knew, the neighbor confirmed. And you know what she did? She put the letter away and continued her simple life. Said she didn't need money. That she had everything she wanted, the three of you. The silence was devastating. She knew she was the heiress to a fortune and chose to stay with them. And they expelled her. Do you know where she is? Marina begged. I don't, the neighbor said. But if you find her, you don't deserve her forgiveness. Back in the house, they found expense notebooks, notes of sacrifice, love letters exchanged between their parents. Each discovery was a new stab to the heart, new proof of the love they had received and scorned. As the sun set, they were surrounded by the evidence of their ingratitude. We have to find her, Marina said. Not for the money, but because it's the right thing. Just then, Marina's phone rang, an unknown number. Hello? A man's voice answered. I'm Antonio. I got your number from Mrs. Conceição. Your mother is here. Marina's heart stopped. Is she okay? She is. But I have to warn you. She doesn't want to talk to you. They sped off. Arriving at a humble little house, Antonio greeted them with a look of judgment. She's inside, but if you make her cry again, you'll have to deal with me. In the small living room, they saw Maria Madalena sewing. She looked up, saw her 3 children, and her expression didn't change. She just looked and went back to her work. What do you want? Her voice was ice. Mother, we need to talk, Marina said. We have nothing to talk about, she replied, not stopping her sewing. Michelle knelt. Mother, for God's sake, listen to us. She stopped. Listen to what? You called me a burden. You kicked me out in the rain. You think just saying you were wrong is enough? Mother, we found out everything, Marina said, also on her knees. About your parents, the inheritance. And you came because of the money? She asked, not surprised. No, Michelle said. It's because we found out who you really are. She laughed bitterly. Who I am? I'm the same person. The difference is now you know I have money. We found the letters, Juliana said. The jewelry, the ring, the loan. Maria Madalena's eyes filled with tears. You went through my things. She stood up. Understand what? That I loved you. You should have realized that when I spent sleepless nights caring for you, when I sewed late into the night. But no, you only realized when you found out I gave up 100 million reais. You knew about the inheritance a month ago, Michelle said. She turned slowly. I knew, and I put the letter in a drawer, because I didn't want money, I wanted you. Marina broke down in a deep sob. You had 100 million waiting, and you chose to stay with us, and we kicked you out. I chose you every time, Maria Madalena said, since the day I left my parents' house. And you, when did you choose me? The silence was the answer. Never. Mother, Juliana pleaded, give us a chance to fix this. Fix how? Maria Madalena asked. By giving back the sleepless nights I lost? The dignity you took from me? We know we can't go back in time, Michelle said, but we can be different. I don't want you to be different for fear of losing an inheritance, she replied. I want you to be different because you've learned what character is. You're right about everything, Marina said. We're disgusting. You want me to forgive you? To go back and pretend nothing happened? No, Mother, Marina said. We want you to accept the inheritance, to live the life you deserve. And if one day you can forgive us, we'll be waiting. Lucia appeared at the door. She'll stay here for a few more days thinking. You can come back later. As they were leaving, Maria Madalena spoke. Do you know the difference between you and my parents? They turned. My parents gave me an ultimatum out of love. You expelled me out of selfishness. And that difference is everything. The sentence echoed like thunder. They left, destroyed, knowing that forgiveness, if it came, would have to be earned with much more than words. 3 months passed. 3 months of weekly calls, short and formal conversations. Maria Madalena's polite distance hurt more than any shout. Then she called, asking them to come to Antonio's house. They arrived nervous, not knowing what to expect. They found her sitting, a lightness in her face that wasn't there before. "I accepted the inheritance," she said calmly. "The 100 million is now mine, and I've made some decisions. I'm donating 50 million to build a community hospital in honor of my parents, 10 million to create a foundation to help women start over. And the rest," she looked at them, "I've divided into 4 equal parts, 10 million for each of you and 10 million for me." "Mother, we don't deserve it," Marina said. "I know," Maria Madalena replied, "but I'm not giving it because you deserve it. I'm giving it because I'm your mother, and a mother loves even when she is not loved back." She continued, her voice firm. "But there are 3 conditions. First, you only touch the money after a year, and during that year, you must work. Marina, you will work in a soup kitchen, serving, washing dishes. Michelle, in construction, carrying cement. Juliana, volunteering as a teacher in a poor community." They nodded. "Second condition, you will live together in a simple house without luxury. You will learn to live as I have lived. Third condition, every Sunday you will come to have dinner with me. You will tell me what you've learned, and little by little, we will rebuild what was broken." "Are you giving us a chance?" Marina cried. "I'm giving you the chance my parents didn't give me," Maria Madalena said. "The chance to make a mistake and fix it." Michelle asked for a hug. After a hesitation that felt like an eternity, she opened her arms. The 4 of them embraced, crying together for the first time in decades. A year passed. Marina cried as she hugged an elderly woman who thanked her for the hot meal. Michelle listened with respect to the story of a co-worker who supported 5 children with his hard work. Juliana shouted with joy with a student who read her first sentence. Every Sunday, they gathered with their mother, and she watched her children transform. When the year ended, they received the money. Marina opened a restaurant that offered free food. Michelle created a construction company that hired older people. Juliana founded a community school. Maria Madalena was at the hospital's inauguration when she saw them arrive by public transport, in simple clothes, but with humility and gratitude in their eyes. "Thank you for not giving up on us, Mother," Marina said. "A mother never gives up on her child." She smiled. That night they had dinner together. "Mother, do you regret anything?" Juliana asked. "Not telling you about my past," she replied. "Maybe you would have valued the simple things more." "No, Mother," Michelle said. "If you had told us, we would have loved you for the money. Now we love you for the sacrifice we never saw." Maria Madalena felt her heart at peace. "You've learned life's most important lesson. It's not about how much you have, it's about how much you give." They stood up to wash the dishes together. For the first time, everyone served, everyone loved, because they had learned that family is choosing to love every day. That simple night, Maria Madalena finally had her greatest fortune, a family that loved her for who she was.